set up the branch. The branch is going to check for the core, for the variable if it is core. He's going to spawn actor of class. He's going to firstly check if it's going to be the first blueprint. If this one is checked, he's going to spawn the wormhole. If it's not checked, we're going to spawn the core. Now the core, spawn actor of class. Spawn actor from class. Next one, I'm going to create a blueprint. Now create a blueprint. I'm going to call it actor content browser. Create a blueprint actor core app. Next, we're going to set up the component. Now this one is going to be a static mesh. Static mesh is going to be sphere. Sphere is going to be base shape material. We're going to go back to the material, create material, call it the core M, and core M. We're going to open the material, quickly create an emissive, so it to be an emissive kind of light. 3 and click to get the 3 color M, and click to get multiply S, and click to get scalar emission, multiply by this, then it's going to be this. Then we probably can get the hue shift right there, and hue shift, then plug into this one. Texture, we don't need to have a texture, but in case we ever do, we can get full vector, reflection vector, wall space, reflection vector, wall space, a minus 3D. Now there's something from here that can be used as a cube maps to make it into the 3D. Cube maps interior, okay, long lat to UV. Probably this one, then set it up as a texture, enter it into the emissive, then the other one, UV to long lat, something like that. Then attempt to get texture sample parameter cube. Now we're going to get a cube map, which is just what we're going to use for later. We can get the cube map for the skybox, RGB into the reflection vector. It is not going to happen like so. Can we do it in this way? No, the other way around. Then reflection vector into the UV, then something like this, UV to long lat, and then hit the preview, start previewing mode. Alright, so I get the color to be 111. Probably we don't need the other one. Hue shift percentage is going to be this one. Hue is going to be set into here. Next, hit the preview. Preview is going to show us something or not. Alright. Alright, it is hitting it. And next, what we're going to put. It's going to be an error. Start previewing, we're going to hit the multiply, and multiply is going to show us probably there is something. Now for that to be previewed, we're going to go back to the window. In the window, set the custom primitive, preview scene settings. In the preview scene settings, we're going to get the environment, show the floor, environment color 0, 0, 0, and clear sky. We can get this texture to be displayed here. Post process, show environment. Alright, it's not showing anything yet. That is because it's not emissive. Now we're going to put the emissive service to volume light function. Light function is not going to be emitted the right way. Default unlit, two-sided light function surface, and let's see if it's going to be anything. Emission is at 0. I'm going to set the emission to 1. Okay, then I'm going to set the back to the scene, preview scene, show environment, set it to 0, something like that. That is in case we want any of the textures. Now this is for the cube map. Cube map. Now if we want to use a regular texture, for example we can make it two-sided. As soon as we make it two-sided, we're gonna get the. It's gonna be our cube map, right? That we can use as sphere, or we can use it as just like kind of light function. But if we don't want that, we have this hue parameter. We have then the other one. The other one is gonna be the set3 vector. I'm just gonna get the regular color. Multiplied. Let's get a switch. Alright, these are two materials. I'm gonna get addition to the other one and call this one cube map for the space here. Now the other one is gonna be multiplied by the emission. Emission is gonna be the same. I hit the emissive and go into the hue shift, or the same hue shift into the texture, hit the preview, and then hue over here, emissive over here. Stop previewing mode. Next one, we're going to put it into the emissive, but probably I can get the parameter switch if that makes any sense. Switch, static switch parameter. We're going to get static switch parameter is going to get toggle. We're going to get a toggle, and then it's going to be this one. Now if it's true, if it's false, we're going to put this one. Now we're going to set it to the default value. Default value, change the one to the red, and emissive is going to be 1. Red preview, turn off preview, enable real-time preview. Okay, and lit two-sided. Now I'm going to pump up the emissive for something like. Alright, now it starts to be emitting things. Alright, next we're going to hit apply, and we have two parameters. We have emissive and we don't have color yet, so we're going to get this to. Now we're going to control the camera. The color with hue switch is between 0 and 1. So you're going to have 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, 1, slide the min 0, slide the max 1. So you can get the it's like so. Next, if we get red to be like that, then we get our proton star. Pretty much like that. We're going to keep it to 7. I think that may be the one. Or it will be kind of intense, so alright, so I'll keep it. Now MS pixelist offset save core M is too intense. It's burning my eyesight. So just gonna get this at 7, emission is 7, and 7, and emission is. Alright, so like that. Now core M, core BP is gonna be our BP. Now we have it as the core BP. Now we're gonna get a parameter. We're gonna go get back to the construction script. Construction script is gonna get the shape of the sphere, and then it's gonna get the create dynamic material instance. Now for the material instance, we can get this sphere and get the DMI, and now get material, get material, get material, get material, get material element 0, set it up into the material, set it up for this one, create DMI. As we're creating DMI, we're going to get into the promoting to the variable instance editable expose on spawn. I'm not sure if it is relevant, but let us have it this way. We can then continue. As soon as we have the DMI, we're going to get the DMI. Alright, we're going to save our progress since it's lagging. Compile, save, we're going to get our walks to save, collaborative preview. Alright, we're going to save it all, save. Next, core BP. We're going to get the get DMI, it's this editable controls, hold control to get it. Then we're gonna set DMI. We have the texture parameter value, we have the scalar parameter value, and scalar parameter. Alright, scalar parameter value. No, we have set scalar parameter value. Set scalar parameter value. Now the first one is Huey. The second control V to get the second one control emission. Next we're gonna get the DMI for this one, get DMI, we can use the same one, and something like that. If you want to alter the texture, for example, like in that hue map, we can set texture parameter value, and we can convert it to promote to variable expose and spawn instance editable, and we're going to set it as a cube map texture. And now this one, parameter name texture, there's probably have to be the switch, texture sample, convert to parameter texture. The names have to be the same. Texture, Huey, emission. The capitals are the same. Emission, Huey. If it's not the same, it's going to walk. Promote to variable. Promote to variable is just editable. Expose on spawn value. Promote to variable. Instance editable. Expose on spawn. Probably it would be better if I would just like kind of hold and then promote it automatically to variable. Call it emission. Call it emission. Next, call it a float. Huey. As can you get the fucking Huey? Probably we want the. We can use the same DMI, or we just can get a fresh DMI. Get the fresh DMI. Next, we're gonna get before we convert it to function, we'll probably get the. If there's such a command, static switch. If there's switch. No. Switch. Is there a switch parameter? Anyway, before we continue to it, we have to get the boolean. Alright, let's not bother with that. We can convert this, compile it, probably. Alright, convert it to function, collapse to function, then collapse function is going to be called material OC. Then we can go back to the event graph compile, event begin play, get the function, set the material OC is already going to be there, so I'm just going to go to event tick. An event tick is going to, yes, indeed, material OC. That's it. If I want to change runtime. Now, before I get to change the runtime, this is core BP, L, the variables, emissive, additive, exposed, and spawn. Then we have the material, we have the BP, and there's nothing here. It's nothing because the emission is set to 1. We set up the emission texture. If you want to get a texture, it's for the other materials, so we have to manually switch it. We avoid doing that. We just design a separate material if you want to use that. Now, if you want to use the cube map, we copy that into the other piece to avoid the clutter. And system 0. Now we're going to spawn. Now then we're going to spawn. If it is a core, this is going to be the blueprint. That's gonna, in the beginning of the game, spawn this. Alright, as much as we want. We're gonna get the system 0. If it is a core is ticked. We're gonna spawn actor of class set core BP. And alright, it's system 01, so it's gonna be spawn actor, and when the spawn actor spawns, it's gonna spawn the core BP, right? It's gonna be promoted to the variable core BP. Core BP instance editable, expose and spawn. Next, spawn transform, get actor transform, self default collision. I try to adjust transform. Alright, fuck it. Then we're gonna need to get this emission to be promoted to variable, and it's also gonna be instance editable, expose and spawn. Probably Huey. We don't need as much as for the emission, but we need that much for the Huey. So let's go. Promote to the variable instance editable, expose on spawn. That can be saved. Huey, there's a Huey already. Alright, so we can get the Huey is from the previous BP. The same Huey. Alright, fantastic. If there's gonna be the, it has to be the red cube map, but that's not irrelevant for now. Good. Next, we're gonna get the original system that spawns this blueprints around it. This is system 0. Now system 0 is one of these balls, so these are system. These are system 0, system 1, system 2, system 3. Now, if we assess it, if I get the new radius, let's say 987, and new intensity 9976, that is what it's going to do. It's going to be a spectral blade, something like that. Now, alright, we're gonna go back to that system, and here's the node that's gonna spawn it. We're gonna refresh the link and see that we have emission value over here. Now, we don't need to control it, but it's actually can be set up for the data table workflow. The point is already done. All I have to do is get the compile, ideally set the project, compile all. Save, core BP, core, save, compile. hit simulate. Alright. Is a nebula. Is already a nebula, what the fuck? Alright, now what else you can do is it, if you click on one of them, you have your hue here, and you can get your hue to change your thing. Probably it would be best, we'll alter it further, but that is initial setup. Anyway, oh damn, it looks good. Something like this. Now, I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but probably if we get pixel grid, right? Like, you get pixel grid. Metric for grid pixel size. Now this is 6. No, that is not the one. Alright, there's another one, but there must be something with light that allowed this to be not fucking squarey. Probably if I put the runtime skybox. Alright, but that doesn't matter. Now to get this initial setup for the thing. To get the I think I have to reduce the emissions. I can get all the cores all together. I can get reduce emission to 11 and then 7. But the thing is still here, so probably I have to get the cube map, the sky whatever, and light mass importance volume. So I get to go back to the nodes right here, Windows, create visual effects. Visual effects is going to be planar, sphere refraction, exponential, volumetric, sky atmosphere. Volumes, I'm going to go back to volumes, light mass importance volume. I'm going to put the light mass visual effects. We can set the exponential, volumetric, cloud, go back to volumes, texture, trigger, post mesh, light mass, light streaming, physics core, audio. I do not see volumetric, light map density volume, and the light mass importance volume. I'm gonna set the tetrahedron, probably not best one, cylinder, but and get it to something like 711, 7564, something like that. Put it in the middle, and if we increase it a bit wider, something like that. And then if we can get the skylight into the scene, visual effects, just go visual effects, where is it? Visual effects. I do not see the skylight. Sun sky. No. HDR. Sun and sky, skylight. Alright, let's back up. We don't need that. Over here I get the real time. And for the real time. Alright, it's a bit intense. A specific hue map of a specific hue map is going to be this one. No. Capture scene 2596 volumetric rendering, and then maybe then this doesn't. Alright. Well, as soon as this is figured out, oh, probably there's a lumen. I don't know what's a lumen. Anyway, probably it can be tweaked, but yeah, I would like to know how to change this ugly tentacles and make it more, you know, smooth. Because it's already a nebula. Holy shit. It's gone. Alright, now if I click play, because this is a collab preview, collaborative viewer, if we get this selected, right, this is going to be it. I can set that between the pawns, and this is going to be the default pawn, and the default pawn can get us to change the mechanism, and then we're going to alter for this, so we can change between different sections where our things is located, right? And we can move around it. I can get her way back up, CB, get full screen on. Uh oh.